progress.
Nell, what do you think? Should we get started? You want to get started? Or start? Anyways, we can wait, but it's up to you. He was sick. So he sent some link. So it was for class, so he's key. But good luck. It was very enjoyable. Yeah, it was very casual. Yeah, that's fine. He's a nice guy. Good to know.
If it's okay for them to be here, they can sit, they can sit. This is the, if you can be set up for them, but. Here, I'll pretend that I'm in.
I want to hear the Bible.
Okay.
Violinist, can we hear you? Sound check. Now, would that be, oh,
Yes,
that's not.
that's home, yeah, for only, for a couple of speakers.
Can the people at home hear the violin?
I cannot.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Is he playing like that?
Yes.
You can't hear us also tonight.
What if he came closer to the computer? If he came down here, probably fine.
Yeah, you can play from down here.
Is it okay to come down here?
Yeah.
It's like the fiddler on the roof.
So now you're looking at the podium, so you can be right next.
Okay.
Dan,
Yeah.
we're recording and streaming right now.
Good.
Play loud.
Play. Let's play this. Make sure they can hear you. Good. Thank you. You're welcome.
Greetings, as we say, Shalom, Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleichem. We are so delighted to host the Buffalo Corner Reading Series this month. In particular, this has been a very, very challenging couple of weeks in the Jewish and the Muslim community and throughout the world. And when we arranged for tonight, we had no idea what would be in the news. All we knew is we had a wonderful program, and it's going to be a wonderful program. But when the world comes calling, things change. And I think what you'll see tonight is that this is more important, not less. when Nadia had asked, should we do this or not? And I said, most definitely. This is the important time to do this. I have a couple of reflections just to share with you. Usually Gunilla starts. I'm going to start and then pass it on to Gunilla. I have a couple of poems just to set the tone. These are things that have been on my mind. Two that I wrote and one that I saw online that I think really spoke to this moment. The first is called Dusk in October 2023. It's about the change in time here, but also the darkness that enters our hearts when such things happen. When the dark comes, it seeps into everything. Morning is no longer morning. She becomes a heavy veil like the one I once saw. I once saw a woman wear on her wedding day. When the dark comes, even the sunniest of skies becomes blinding, shadows and shade a refuge. When the dark comes, taste buds sour, our hearts turn directionless. When the dark comes, friendly faces appear aloof, anger boiling at every casual glance. When the dark comes, even hello becomes too much. Goodbye is the greatest of joys. When the dark comes, light feels light years away. Hope, a star taunting from the heavens. When the dark comes, every consolation becomes a curse, every smile a smirk. When the dark comes, sit in it, unmoving. In time, the day will return over the distant sky, like scattered leaves after the heaviest of storms. When the dark comes, let it. In its own way, it offers us balm. This one I wrote this morning. I was late to a meeting because I had to write a poem. It's called 10/7/23. Yeah, see, the poets understand. The date 10/7/23, the date has become a memorial. No longer a birthday or anniversary, the day I took my kids to school or attended services. The date is now etched in fire in God's eternal clock, hung like a jersey of a retired player in God's heavenly palace. We will never think of it otherwise. Now it will be forever associated with hostility, bloodshed, and death. Another Babi Yar, another Masada. We will mourn as we always do with sackcloth and eggs. No more balloons or celebrations, just this awful sadness that consumed me when I first heard the news. And lastly, a wonderful poem that I saw online, and the poet is Caitlin Seda, and it's called Hope is Not a Bird. Emily, it's a sewer rat. Hope is not the thing with feathers that comes home to roost when you need it most. Hope is an ugly thing with teeth and claws and patchy fur that's seen some shit. It's what thrives in the discords and survives in the ugliest parts of the world, able to find a way to go on when nothing else can even find a way in. It's gritty, nasty, little carrier of such diseases as optimism, persistence, perseverance, and joy, transmissible as it drags its tail across your path and bites you in the ass. Hope is not some delicate, beautiful bird. Emily, it's a lowly little sewer rat that snorts pesticides like they were lines of coke and still shows up on time to work the next day, looking no worse for wear. It's a beautiful poem. I'd like to invite over Gunilla, Dr. Theander, to open our program officially.
Thank you, Rabbi, for such deep and meaningful words. We need them now more than ever. I want to thank also our Executive Director, Joanne Marquesi, and Congregation Shir Shalom, because without your support and help, this Buffalo Corner would not be up and running. Thank you also to my co-host, Irene. Oh, she's always hiding in the corner. Irene Cypers. She's wonderful, and I want to thank my husband Daniel Kester, her husband David Cypers. Their humor keeps us going, and they know how to work the machines, which is wonderful. I wanted to mention, in the middle of all the other trouble in the world, that we buried a good, great writer here in Buffalo this week. He was a great writer, a friend, a colleague, and a mentor and teacher to so many of us, Professor Howard Wolf. He came to the Buffalo Corner once or twice. He had a busy life. And I had hoped he would one day join us as a featured reader. But, you know, who could have known that time was so short? And time has been very short for so many these last, 12, 13 days. We grieve for the victims on both sides of the war, and we pray for the hostages in Gaza and their families. Still, even as our screen fill up with new misery, we don't forget the old or other victims. We remember Mahsa Amini, whose torture and death at the hands of Iranian police sparked a rebellion that has not been quenched in years. And we congratulate this year's Nobel Peace Prize winner, Narges Mohammadi, for her fight against the oppression of women in Iran and her fight to promote human rights and freedom for all. Most likely, she will not be able to attend the big Nobel feast in Stockholm because she is languishing, who knows how, in a prison in Iran. Now, when I used to work as a professor of English, I often asked my students what to do when the world becomes one loud and dangerous question. Who is going to answer that question? Well, we are. You, me, us. And that's one reason why we are here tonight. And I want to thank you. You have crossed all kinds of boundaries to join us here tonight. And I feel very proud. And now I'm proud to welcome our host, Nadia Shahram. She is brilliant. She's an attorney, an author, a peace activist, born and raised in Iran. She's our host for tonight's program, and I want to share with you that our friendship started over a pair of missing stockings. And this is a story I will share with you some other time.
Good evening, friends and members of the Congregation of Sher Shalom. I am, of course, Nadia Shahram. By now you know my name, if you didn't know it before. Iranian born and a member of the greater Buffalo community. A community that I have discovered to be inclusive, loving, and progressive. Does this come higher? Yeah.
You can go a little closer to the microphone.
Oh, there's so many of you here. Hi. Okay. All right. I would like to repeat the previous sentence because that is very important to me and I'm sure to you Buffalonians. A community that I have discovered to be inclusive, loving, and progressive in its ideology. My friends and my friends are here and we usually collaborate, especially recently. And initially, when we were thinking to present a poetry event based on a topic that has been actively with us day and night. And I'm talking about the ongoing Iranian revolution. It has been taking place over the last 14 months. And the heinous human rights violations being committed by that government upon its youth, children, women, and men. Our goal was to present facts, stories, and ideas through poetry, music, to show the atrocities being conducted by the Islamic Republic of Iran, including executions, imprisonment, rape, and torture of young women and men. Collectively, as artists, we planned alternative world through human imagination, empathy, and courage. But given the momentous events that have been unfolding in Israel and Gaza as we speak, we decided to dedicate this program to focus on a message of healing, peace, and hope. And at the same time, wrestle with the wounds, scars, and bruises of death and despair alongside mysterious joy in poetry and life. Growing up in Iran, I have always had a multicultural family with Muslims, Jews, and Christians. I have no memories of them ever fighting over religion. The present Islamic government in Iran, with its fascist regime and policies and police, is on the brink of collapse. I hope, we hope, and we pray. The heroic struggles of the woman-led movement for life, women, and freedom will flourish again in Iran. The beloved lioness poet Simine Behbahani, who died at the age 89 in 2014, she talked then about rebuilding Iran after its collapse from the evil rulers. And I'm going to read just 2 lines of that. My country, I will build you again if need be, with bricks made from my life. I will build columns to support your roof if need be, with my bones. Tonight, as an Iranian American, I stand here before you, not just for my sisters and brothers in Iran, but for the Jewish and Palestinian sisters and brothers in Israel and Gaza. I do not wish to be a bystander. I am not a bystander. We must stay in solidarity with the people, with our sisters and brothers inside Iran, Israel, and Gaza. I also hope, I sincerely also hope and pray that we stay away from pushing our own agenda and our own political ideologies. We must not forget that it is Iranians inside Iran, it is Palestinians inside Gaza, and the Jews inside Israel are the ones that literally holding the lives on the palms of their hands. We offer prayer collectively, individually, privately, and publicly for these innocent civilians. Now it's time to talk about Sadi, the beloved 13th century poet who wrote Bani Adam, the human, which is written in a carpet which is hanged inside the United Nations. The sentiments of Sadi's poem can be seen to conform to the spirit of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights proclaimed by the United Nations General Assembly in 1948, and Sadi was from 13th century Iran. I'm just going to read the first article of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. All human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights. All human beings are born equal in dignity and rights. They are endowed with reason and conscience and should act towards one another in a spirit of sisterhood. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Now, I would like to ask, if you look at the program, I would like to ask those three individuals who are going to read Bani Adam, which is the human, by Sadi. They're going to read in their native language. So, come on, yes. You know who you are, yes? No, but we are here for you. Yeah, thank you. All right, so let's, the first is going to be you, because you're, yes. Okay. So this is Carmen Britton, right? Carmen yes. Rose Britton. Thank you. And I particularly like the middle name very much. And I'm not going to say how many years we have been friends, but all my friends are for years and years.
Long time.
And she's going to read this in English, which is, she's from Boston. She's yes. Bostonian, I guess. Mm-hmm. So she's going to read in English.
All right. Thank you. The sons of Adam are limbs of each other, having been created of one essence. When the calamity of time afflicts one limb, the other limbs cannot remain at rest. If thou hast no sympathy for the troubles of others, thou art unworthy to be called by the name of a man.
Thank you. And now, I guess everybody knows Ganila's, right? Everybody knows her here. She doesn't need introduction. She's going to read it in her native language, Swedish.
Adams söner är varandras grenar, skapade som de är av ett väsen. När tidens katastrofer plågar en gren, kan de andra grenarna inte förbli stilla. Om du saknar medkänsla för andras sorg, är du ovärdig att kallas en människa.
Thank you. And we have here my friend from Afghanistan, Khaled Andish, and he's going to read it in Dari.
Yep,
yes.
sure. بنی آدم اعضای یکدیگرند. بنی آدم اعضای یکدیگرند که در آفرینش ز یک گوهرند. چو عضو بدرد آورد روزگار، دیگر عضوها را نماند قرار. تو که از مهنت دیگران بیغمی نشایند که نامت نهند آدمی.
Can I have that? It will stay on, right? So I have the advantage of reading it in Farsi, which is the intended language of the poem and the poet. بنی آدم اعضای یکدیگرند که در آفرینش ز یک گوهرند. چو عضوی به درد آورد روزگار دگر عضوها را نماند قرار. تو کز مهنت دیگران بی غمی نشاید که نامت نهند آدمی. Thank you, and now I'm going to bring here my very good friend Nusha Zoher, and she's going to read poetry by Sepehri. She's going to introduce the poem and the poet.
Okay, so as Nadia said, I'm gonna read a poem from Sohrab Sepehri. Sohrab was an Iranian poet. He was born in Kashan, Iran in 1928 and passed away due to cancer in 1980. Sohrab is known for his modernist poetry that often focused on nature, love, mysticism, and Western traditions. Sohrab mingled Western concepts with Eastern ones, creating a poetry unsurpassed in the history of Persian literature. Sohrab studied art at the School of Fine Arts in Tehran. He studied lithography in Paris, modernism in US, Japanese calligraphy in Tokyo, and Buddhism in India. He tried to invent a world in poetry and a poetry in the world as had not been seen before. His poems have been translated into various languages. In Iran, his verses are often recited in public gatherings, and lines from them are used as slogans by the protesters fighting against the Islamic regime. So I chose a poem called Water's Footfall. I had to summarize it because it was 25 pages. I wasn't gonna do that to you. So I summarized it and I tried to capture most of it. It's only 5 pages, no worries. But before I start that, Sohrab once said, "When you make someone swallow his pride, when you destroy someone's castles in the air, when you put out someone's candle of hope, when you pass someone over, when you even close your ears for not hearing the sound of someone's breaking, when you see God but don't see God's creatures, I want to know, to which sky do you raise your hand to pray to your benediction?" All right, now the poem, Water's Footfall. It's basically loosely an autobiography of Sohrab that he wrote for himself. He describes his journey through life and how he became the poet that he was. I am from Kashan, and all is well. I have a piece of bread, some smarts, a bit of wit. I have a mother better than the brightest green leaf, and my friends like the river streaming. I have a God as well who lives right around here somewhere among these night blooms or there at the foot of the white pine. I'm a Muslim. I pray facing a red rose. My prayer rug is the stream. I press my forehead against the sunlight. I do my ablution along with pulse of windows. The moon flows in my prayer. I pray after the wind has made a call from the cypress tree minaret. I pray after the grass proclaims God is glorious chant. after the bellowing of the surge. My Kaaba stands at the edge of the sea. It moves through the shades of acacia trees. Much like the light breeze, it drifts from orchard to orchard, town to town. My black stone is the glowing of a little flower bed. From Kashan I am. My ancestor was perhaps a plant from India or a clay shard from Seylak Mountain. It's a mountain in Iran. My father, another painter, was a lute maker and played them too, drew beautiful letters and words in ink. Our garden stood on the shadow slope of wisdom, in the knot tied by the threads of thoughts and stems. While sleeping there, I knew no philosophy, was ignorant of science. Bit by bit, the child crept away from the alley of dragonflies. I packed up my suitcase, leaving Dream Village, remembering with sadness blue and green dragonfly wings. I went to the end of Alley of Doubt, as far as the cool night of contentment, as far as rain-damping evening of affection. I went to meet someone at the far end of the Alley of Love. I traveled as far as I could to meet another. I saw many things on the way, a ladder by which love might climb up to the roof of the sky. A woman pounded light with a mortar. I saw a man down at heels going door to door asking for canary songs. I saw a lily addressed by a poet as Your Honor. Stairs led down to the basement of wine and spirits, to the laws governing the decay of roses, to the mathematical understanding of equation of life, to the terraces of revelation, lightning strikes of understanding. Far below, my mother was washing cups in the memory of a stream. I saw the people, the towns, the mountains and the meadows, streams, the surface of the earth. I saw the sprouts and the plants growing through light and the darkness, animals in the night and then in the day, humans in darkness and in the light. From Kashan I am, but I was not born there. I have no place of origin, no home. With fevered devotion, I built a house as far side of night. I am close to the beginning of the earth. I check the pulse of each flower. My spirit flows in a new direction. My youthful spirit, my soul is true as a rock in the road. I've never seen two spruce trees at war, never seen the willow subletting its shade to the earth. Like a vase, I listen to the music of growing. Like fruit in the basket, I have a fever to ripen. I want nothing more than an apple and the scent of chamomile. I would never laugh at the child when his balloon bursts. I know what the moon means in the dream of the desert, mothering in its sleep. Life is like square root of mirror, flower raised to the power of eternity, earth multiplied by our heartbeats, the simple geometry of breaths. Wherever I am, let me be there. It doesn't matter where I am. The sky is always mine. Window, mind, thought, air, love, this earth, this life, all are mine. I want to see anew and wash the words of the world in the wind and rain. I close my umbrella and walk in the rain. Think and remember in the rain. Meet friends in the rain. Look for love in the rain. Play games in the rain. Let's taste the sunlight. Wait the evening. Fetch a basket. Fill it with all these reds, yellows, and greens. Don't ask where we are. Don't ask where fortune hides, or why the heart's blood is blue, or what kind of night or breeze our ancestors felt in their skin. Behind us, nothing alive. Behind us, no birds startling songs. Behind us, no tempest, no wind. Behind us, all the wounds of history. Behind us, the memory of a wave pours the rubbles of stillness and emptiness ashore. to the shore then, to cast our nets upon the sea and catch the freshness of water. Let's stitch heaven between two syllabuses of being, fill and refill our lungs with eternity. Let's strip all the names from the clouds. Let's open all the doors to every being, to sunlight, to the green trees, to garden, and to the dragonflies, and to cicadas and other winged creatures. Maybe our mission is to run between the lotus flower and the century, hunting for an echo of truth. Thank you.
People on Zoom want to also see Max. We have to move them. Go ahead, please. You can introduce what you were singing, right? This is my student, Max Goldberg. So I'm learning as much as he is.
Max wants harmony, so I'm joining.
Hi, I'm Max. I'm going to be singing Oseh Shalom and Sim Shalom. They're both prayers for peace, and Emma will be singing with me. This one's to... Oseh Shalom Umav Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael V'imru Amen Oseh Shalom Umav Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Sim shalom, tova uvracha. Sim shalom, tova uvracha. Sim shalom. Tova uvracha. chesed verachamim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael amecha. Sim shalom tova uvracha. Sim shalom tova uvracha. Sim shalom tova uvracha. Sim shalom tova uvracha. Tova uvracha.
That was so beautiful, Max and Mom. Thank you. And thank you, Rabbi Alex and Nadia and Ganila for presenting this program, for hosting us. My poem, like Rabbi Alex, speaking of October 7th, it's called Monday, October 9th, 2023. The full impact of what had happened on the previous Saturday, I hadn't absorbed it yet. So this goes in several directions. There's so much more to say. A 3-day weekend, I'd pictured setting off on a drive in the country, that classic fall pleasure. But we woke to no heat in the apartment and a sharp awareness of the world around us. A new war in Ukraine grows old. An ancient war in the Middle East happens anew. An earthquake in Afghanistan spills bodies like pickup sticks from a cardboard container. How little we used to understand about this holiday that disregarded subjugation of Native people. I read a poem written by a friend that begins, "You know what a torn shirt the world's become. Its power steals my breath." I consider the Jewish holidays that we have just observed, yearly resolutions to do better as individuals and as global citizens. I feel as helpless, unknowing as the dog curled in her bed under my desk. Years ago, I was driving a friend's little boy to an afternoon at the zoo. Buckled safely in the back seat, looking out the window, he asked, "Is this real or am I dreaming?" I have the day off. The excursion I hoped for will have to take place in my head. I am cold in this torn shirt of a world. The dog growls in her sleep. Is this real or am I dreaming? Thank you.
For the next reader, I felt I have to walk over here. Next reader is Nadia Shahram, along with violinist, our violinist, Evan Wafai, who always support me and my programs, and I'm very grateful for that. I was born in the city of war, in the days of hate. If you want to find me, come to my little house that is built on the top of nothing. Come at the loneliness o'clock in my dried garden. Only scarecrows smile. In my city, kids play with wooden guns and man with real tanks. Here in this city, only ashes are alive. And nobody brings news from the flames of love. Nobody brings news from the flames of love. It all ends. It all ends by carving your name on the black stones. And again begins with the sound of another explosion. I was born in the city of war, in the days of hate, in the season of dried crimson meadows. Thank you. Okay, next we have Jan Wafai, father of Evan Wafai, and he has an original poem, A Tale of Sorrow.
Thank you, Rabbi Alex and Gunilla and Nadia, for allowing me to be here. And I am also Iranian born, and my family was actually Baha'i in Iran, and we are all persecuted by that government, and we share something. I was moved by what I've seen happen to mainly children in Israel and in Gaza. So this is in response to that. A tale of sorrow. Children's dreams, once peaceful and illuminated by hope, suddenly displaced by darkness, despair, and smoke. Innocent souls and fragile hearts swept away in a violent storm. Now a terrifying nightmare, and suddenly they must bear the burden of war. In an instant, their laughter silenced, their spirits collapsed, and dreams taken away. Innocent children now lost in the fray, with screams that just won't go away. Their lives implode just like the walls and bricks that once was their home. Once bloodlines of a proud lineage are now bloodstains and lost mementos. A red ravine of once living now seeping into the streets of ruin, fed by war's insatiable lust for slaughter and dissolution. The cries of children echo like sirens and deafening raids, piercing their hearts and souls. Oh, how the world weeps for what they endure. That innocent loss is our burden of remorse, for we have taught them this prayer of hate, of course. They knew nothing of violence and killing, but we will teach them all about that. They knew nothing of death and annihilation, but we will teach them all about that. Practical life lessons that perpetuate death should not be uttered in a baby's breath. But this tale of sorrow does not have to be. Let peace and harmony speak. Break this chain of despise and rewrite this history or this story of lies. A narrative where love and unity reflect and fear and hate transcends. Let our voices unite in harmony and forge a path to peace and tranquility. End this darkness and strife and bring forth a day that's filled with just life. Every child deserves love's protection, to live without fear and contention. Let's rise above the hate that blinds our sight, embrace empathy, and hold one another tight. For in our unity lies the seeds of peace, where innocence is cherished and violence can cease. Our children deserve a brighter day. Let's work together towards a world where they just play, where lives are treasured and coexist, where love and hope prevail and conflict ceases to exist. Let us build upon a foundation of unity and together sow the seeds of humanity and a future where children can grow in totality. Thank you.
Mir Ali, please grace us with your music.
Sorry they couldn't hear me or technical.
Thank you. Ganila Kester.
Thank you, Mir. Thank you, Max. You brought solace to us all. I'll confess I was a little worried about tonight. I'm always a little worried about the Buffalo Corner, but more so than usual. And so I'm really grateful to all of you and all of you who are at home, who zoomed in. I see some faces of good friends. Thank you. I wanted to read 2 poems. The first one is about the guitar. Guitar shops, 4 continents. Why, God, is it that when a woman walks into a guitar shop, humble or renowned, the man behind the counter sports a smile that snakes around his face like the alleyways leading up to the red Alhambra as he hunts through his teeth and sighs, while he brings forward his cheapest instrument, pointing to a low chair by the door without a footstool or a moment of peace, while dust and some noise stream in, blend with the glory of a Bach prelude, traveling from major to relative minor to the 5 of 5, and I shake my head. While I want to shake the unresponsive guitar, and I really want to shake the young man with his black mustache, which blinds him to the fact that women can play too, and have better rhythm or ear than he does. And what about God, who could turn the driftwood guitar golden with a snap? Then I have a little longer poem. It's really in 2 parts, and it's about Israel. It's about the Western Wall. Those of you who have been there or know about it, you know, women and men have to approach the wall separately. There's a wall. So when Daniel and my husband Daniel and I visited, long before we got married, I wrote on the back of a hotel receipt a prayer that we would stay together, and here we are. What is it now? But it was hard when we were so young that I had to go on my side and he had to go to his side. So it's called Mirror, Mirror, because the 2 parts I felt when I wrote it mirrored each other. Mirror, mirror. Eyes, eyes, wake up. Dogs gone. Staircase narrow. Unreliable threshold. Handrails. Dust mixed in spit with chewing tobacco. Watch your step. No way to run toward the door out into the open square, street, sky-wide dome filled with crying pigeons, far away from rattling trains, distant hoot of ships, floor covered with dirty luggage, ripped and cheap chalk marks, frames breaking open like distorted mouths. No space to disturb the universe. Navigate a single light bulb burned out among cobwebs. To be young, to want to leave, to not know what to do. All these strangers waiting in line, keeping the door open, letting in more flies, and the heat. Blinding light from outside, stink from the toilet, shit and vomit, a mother, young daughter, blood down their chins, helpless. My Moroccan bag, wine red, heavy. I fling them, my extra t-shirt, making the mime's gesture circling my face. Wind or crowd slam the door shut. Next to the propriétaire, keeper of keys, a wall, chessboard of messages torn, thumbed, notes from underground, grieves crooked, root, hooked in the writing of that wall. One note, a woman's name scribbled across, torn from a passport. 2. Holy, holy places, like to be on high. Let visitors sweat before arriving. Be a little sore and thirsty, more easily impressed. Surrounded by Dolomite steps, limestone stairs pouring down towards city markets, hot lava. Gout hates stairs, and I hate the gout, but up we go, hanging from banisters like broken balloons, sight scattered among ancient Sahara gold. Crevice, crevice of the wall, what is the silence of your call? Young in my marriage, I dream of children. Don't like it, we are separated by that wall. Such is the law. I, on the women's side, so close to the men's, I can touch it. Chanting the Shema loud, my protesting trumpet. God knows what happens when you silence women. I repeat louder, Shema Yisrael, listen Israel. Later he claims he heard me among the tourist buses and laughing church bells. In my pocket, a crumbled hotel receipt. I scribble my prayer in Hebrew, making sure I close the final mem to keep the meaning. They will bury it in the Jewish cemetery on Mount Olive long after I am gone. Prayer answered. I remember backing away, keeping my eyes on that tricky old wall of cold stone. Thank you. It's a long poem, I'm sorry, but I really wanted to share it tonight. I do have a piece of paper here. If anybody wants to sign up with your email address, I will add you. I send out things only about the Buffalo Corner. We meet once a month, usually on the third Thursday of every month, except if it clashes with the Jewish holiday, as it usually does in September for the high holy days. We tend to move it a week or so. But otherwise you can count on it. We have fantastic readers coming in. In November, we welcome Stephen Ewanu, who is, I think, a professor at Buff State, but I'm not sure. He taught there at some point. He's the author of several novels and a local Buffalonian, and very, very good. And we are welcoming poet Karen Elizabeth Sharpie, who just came out with a new book of poetry. She is younger. I've met her in some workshop, and I think she's going to actually travel to Buffalo to be here in person, so that would be nice. And in December, thanks to Irene, we have two super sheroes, I call them, the hero in female form, yes? I think Maya Angelou came up with a shero. I didn't invent it, I know that for sure, but it's a good word. We are welcoming Ancy Baird and Susan Nussbaum. And in January, John Melithonistes, I have to practice your last name, will join us and read from his memoir. So that's about the program at the moment. Any questions, comments, anything? Otherwise, I think Nadia has brought the cake, love cake, that her grandmother made for her Jewish neighbors at Purim. And she's inviting us to a piece of cake and Persian tea.
I think before we do that, I would like to see if all of you would like to join into singing with us John Lennon's famous, song, All You Need Is Love. We all know it, right? So do you guys want to do this? Yes? Yes? All right, so we are going to do it. Yes, so please get if you don't know all the lyrics, there are many of them, we just have to repeat it. Okay, now I think Jam has yeah, I know. Come on. Microphone, come on. Jam, come here.
Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Come on. Love, love, love. There's nothing you can do that can't be done. Nothing you can sing that can't be sung. Nothing you can say, but you can learn how to play the game. It's easy. This is where we need you. Nothing you can do that can't be made. Nothing you can save that can't be saved. Nothing you can do, but you can learn how to be you. It's easy. All we need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. All you need is love. All you need is love. All together now. All you need is love. Love.
Love.
Love is all you need. Nothing you can do that can't be known. Nothing you can see that isn't shown. Nowhere you can be that isn't where you're meant to be. It's easy. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need. All you need is love.
All
you need is love. Everybody. All you need is love. Love.
Love.
Love is all you need. Love is all you need.
Love is all you need.
Love is all you need. Love is all you need. Love is all you need. All you need. Love is 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 all you need. Thank you.
Oh, okay. I would like to thank Buffalo Corner Reading Series. And when Ganila and I spoke about this quite a few months ago, and I realized then, and I know now, that the only people who are allowed are poets, right? You have to have published and be a poet. So I thank you for allowing me and my friends to be here and be a part of this series that you and Irene are doing every month, along with your respectable spouses. I understand none of this heavy lifting would take place without them over here. So of course, thank you, Rabbi, and thank all of you for being here. And that's it, I guess. Thank you. All we need is love.
Yeah, we have some. I'll tell you about those stockings. Here's a piece of paper if anybody wants to sign up for the mailing list. Here's my card if anybody wants coffee. And yeah.
So we are going to have my grandma's recipe. I hope they look good. It's usually good. Usually I close my eyes at it. So I did the same for today. So this is, and tea I hope is very special tea. Oh, that's very delicious. Yes, yes, I hope.
Email. Yes, yes. I'll just put it on my. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Very nice to meet you. What do you do in Buffalo? Did I give you my card or? I think there's only one of me in all of the United States. Yes, yes, yes. One is my email, one is my web. This is a good way of learning English. I had to learn when I came. It's quite a journey. What would you study? Say to two daughters, they went through.
He was featured in the documentary Starting from Zero. That was premiered at the Buffalo Film Festival and at Journey's End. And he was one of the three, characters in coming from Afghanistan and during the attack, going to attack for political reasons. They welcome refugees and then to the United States. He lives in Arizona and he wants to get his he used to be a reporter, but I mean he's very young, so that is.
You will be a writer in English too. I mean,
Yeah,
we all write in a foreign language.
He's learning his English and he's getting better and better, but he just has to practice. He has to get out. I love Thank you so much for coming.
This we just leave, I think.
Reg, you're not going to...
We did know each other back when you were doing your